So how's things going?
Yeah, it's great, mate. Really, really good. Honestly, yeah. Really, I've progressed so much in the month than I have in 6 months, mate. It's just the little
Right.
tips you give, your elbow going out and elbow coming in. It just helps so much. It's them little bits that make it easier. I've done all my scales, what we did in module 3,
Right.
and I've sort of written them all down, and I've got to about 100 beats a minute every scale.
Okay.
And then the one that's what's it called? I've written them all down, mate. That
Yeah.
rail, the rain has stopped.
Yes. Yes.
So I've mastered that I can do that without looking now.
That's the important thing there, getting that independence in the fingers, whatever
Yeah,
scale.
it's making sure first finger first fret, second finger second fret,
Yeah.
third finger, and that's my little reward then to have a little jam on the a chrome cast me telly then, and then do me House of the Rising Sun and Brown Eyed Girl, and just have a little bit of a jam. But if I make a mistake, I'm like, right, back to the beginning again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been a bit anal on that, to be honest. But it's yeah, because you said right, let's strip it back, start from module 1.
Have you
You
found
can
them a bit
see
boring,
why
or
it
have you?
all links in now. For somebody who's never played the guitar, James, absolutely brilliant. It
Right.
it put it gets your technique right, it gets your hand placement right. You mentioned that was the big one, the elbow. And it's like, never even thought of that. Just if you stick
Yeah.
your elbow out a bit when you're playing certain chords, it allows your fingers to come round the neck more. And then now all of a sudden, I'm like, oh wow, it just literally allows your wrist to come up more now.
Yeah.
But
So you're
yeah,
sort of
that
out,
was
you're sort of out like that when you were doing C.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's good now
It,
that that's helped because that's
it's amazing, Jamie. Honestly, them little bits what you sort of say are what a big difference it makes. That's the only way to explain it. It's weird to explain. I'll have 2 hours on the guitar, whereas before I'll be like half an hour. I'm like, God, my bloody wrist is aching. My neck's a bit tight. I'm
right.
not I'm not sort of settled. I'm cramping up. And then
Yeah.
as soon as you did the elbow bit, I'm suddenly sat back and relaxed a bit, and I can play. Apart from my fingers hurting after a while, I could play for 2 or 3 hours now. It just
Right.
feels more comfortable. The guitar
Very
feels
good.
in its right place. Yeah, it's just brilliant, mate. Honestly, it's
So
just going so well.
would you say that even the likes of the elbow thing has helped your songs that you already had?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, some of the
Right.
songs, Fast Cars, Tracy Chapman,
Yeah.
I couldn't quite get because there's a quick chord change on the upstroke on the
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden I'm like, and then the elbow went, oh my god, that's just, and then because your elbow's moving, you start rocking to the music. Then you start
Yeah.
feeling the music more.
Yeah.
It combines itself. Yeah. It's I
Yeah.
was going to say it's just go through the bloody course because it's amazing, mate. Honestly, thanks so much for that first phone call. Get on with it. It's don't hesitate. If you want to progress and become a decent guitar player, just go for it. It got me sort of playing the guitar, and then
Yeah.
you've ironed out them bad habits now and put me on the right track.
Really?
No, even holding the plectrum now, I've got it in between my index finger and my thumb. Oh man, that took a while now. I've not dropped my plec for about
Right.
a week now. Just
Right.
really struggled with that. Now it just feels natural. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, if I put it back into my next finger, it feels weird now. Whereas before, I couldn't put it in my
So
index finger.
yeah, and then you moved it to there, yeah, and then you've
But then
more.
all of a sudden, you put it in that one, you can sort of rest your hand more on the bridge now at the back, and
Yeah.
it just feels a bit. But the way you explained it, it just made it so simple. And
Yeah.
it just sounds so bluesy when you do it. And I've been doing a bit of palm muting, and yeah, it's been cool, mate. It's been such a good month. It's like even my message comes on, she's like, wow.
Right.
Even the blues one, you like your that like second and fourth fret,
Yeah, like
and
the
then you
shuffle.
move down.
The
Yeah, I
shuffle.
love that.
That
That's
one.
it was your fault that I got my fingers like I did.
Yeah, and that photo, your fingers were all.
Oh
You could
mate,
see it in the
honestly,
photo. It's like, geez, look at the, we could actually see. And then I says, that's a good thing because you're working. That's proof that you're actually working on it.
20 minutes practice. Just keep doing it, and it literally is, mate. It's practice. It's just practice, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to put the time in.
You do. That's
And
it.
if you don't put that time in, you're not going to get that reward.
Well, that's it. And I mean,
Anyone that asks me, I'll just say, no, it's not what anyone teaches you. You can teach you whatever you want. It's up to you as an individual then to go out and practice that. And if you don't, you're not going to, you're never going to improve. I know we've all got busy lives, and but anyone can make an hour. If you want to get good at something, you've got to put the effort in. You do. You're giving the tools for you to become a decent guitar player, a very good guitar player, I hope, at the end of it.
yeah, I hope
And
so. Yeah.
but to progress with it, you've got to, that
We
I can't praise enough. I wish I'd done this 6 months ago and with no direction of where to go next. So I've just gone like round in this big circle and then back to House of the Rising Sun again, and then do a bit more. And I can't learn that; it's a bit too difficult. So back to the House of the Rising, back to your comfort songs. It's like having a comfort blanket, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice and safe that I can play that, and you end up just playing that every night. But you're not pushing yourself, you're not testing yourself. Whereas as soon as you put these scales, I was like, I will never learn them. E natural minor. I thought I would never get that in a million years. Now I can play it without even looking. You sort of see the shape of it with your fingers. You just know where your fingers going next. A week ago, I'd be like, I will never learn this. How the hell does he play that without even having something in front of it? And now, last night, I got the metronome on 100 beats a minute, and I did them all. I went from first one, which was C major scale, then I did the A blues scale, E natural minor scale, E blues, G pentatonic, E natural. Mate, honestly, I've just gone through them all.
If you'd been handed those before you started the program, how would you have felt about like?
Yeah, if you'd taught me this early on, I think I'd have been way more progressed now than where I am, because you've taught me the correct ways, just like the E chord. It doesn't have to be played with your first and second finger. You can play it with your second and third, because your next, dependent on the song, it just makes that chord change easier. So it's all them little tips and tricks, because you've been playing it so long now. You've got, this is the easier way. You're just making the guitar so much easier to play, James.
That's great. That's great to hear. I'm glad it's really helping. Before you kind of joined, when we had that chat,
Yeah.
before you signed up, what was kind of going through your mind? Were you kind of like, oh, I don't know, is this going to work, or were you kind of like, no, it's time to make a change, or how were you feeling?
Yeah, I was at that crossroads, and it was literally, I went back up north, and we had a bit of a jam session in his shed. I said my brother-in-law and his father-in-law plays the rhythm, and he's on the bass, and I felt I could join in, but I felt so much out my depth.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to do something that puts me on that right path. I can't just keep sitting at home on my sofa and just looking at the YouTube and then move on to another. And I was just going round in this. As soon as I just knew with chatting to you, James, you just understood where I wanted to go and what path I needed, and I needed a bit of a push as well. And that's what you do. You sort of you push you, but not in a. You keep it fun as well. You know what I mean? It's
Oh yeah. So you find it fun. Do you think there's been like an element of accountability that's helped?
And I know you're always there. You're just a message away.
Yeah.
If I get stuck on something, so up to now, I'm like, but I love the group chat as well. What we go on, like some of the comments, some of them are brilliant, mates, on there. It's like somebody's got a certificate. I'm like, oh, get in, good on you. Even I get buzzing for them. It's mate, it's a nice little community. There's nobody on there that's, oh, you're a bit shit. There's no negative. You break it down to make it. It's and that's the thing, James. You don't overwhelm me. I don't feel it's like, oh shit, I'm treading water in, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I do a lesson like, oh yes, and then I'm buzzing for the next lesson. Then
great.
You've just, it's mate. Honestly, mate, what you've got is it's absolutely amazing. It's the best out there. There's nothing else like what you've got.
What makes the difference with the Get Playing one compared to all those other ones? Do you think is it because we have the communication and all the help and
It's just the way, James, the way you, and you're not like, I've been on some, and all they do is they just literally show off playing the guitar. They just go, they give you all this, and you've just literally stripped me back to basics and gone, right, held me by the hand and said, right, Matt, this is what you need to do. Start back, and you've ironed out all them bad habits I've picked up through each lesson. Is like, got rid of that bad habits. You know, even just to that was a groundbreaker. You know, the elbow, another one. It's just all them little bits have just helped me become such a better. Honestly, mate, I like my brother-in-law rung me up the other night. Said, "What are you up to?" And I said, "I'll play you a song." He was like, "That you?" I went, "Yeah, mate, that was me." Honestly, that really was. He was like, "Oh, mate, I can't wait for you to come up next month. We're gonna have a right good jam, and I'm going a little bit harder at certain parts of the beat. You start feeling it. It's hard to explain, isn't it? It's just suddenly you know when it's, you know,
you just start doing it, sort of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, and I'm listening songs now, and I'm actually listening the rhythm of the guitar now. I can hear the up string. Oh yeah, that's not a down, because you can hear it. A month ago, mate, I was just listening. I'm going, no, not a clue what that sort of strumming pattern is. Now I can actually hear the strumming pattern when I hear the song.
All right, that's really good, because
So it's helping me ear with music as well. Just this journey, mate. It's just, yeah, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I can't rate you highly enough, mate. And I will definitely stick somewhere on later on.
So what would you say to anybody that's on the fence or is thinking, no, I don't want to? What would you suggest to them if I, do you think it'd be a good idea for them?
Do it. You will never regret it. You will be in as little as a month's time. You will see your progress. You're there as soon as I get to a point. I mean, up to like module 1, 2, great, 3. I got to the scales. I'm like, I know you're making a point. I've got to learn these scales. So I'll just religiously do that. And I'm like, right, now what do I do? And then as soon as I message you, like, right, let's sort a call out. Let's get together and let's you're there, mate. At the end of a text message, messenger, you know, that's the bit I love about this. You're always there, you know, and I see you always commenting and answering people's questions on the group. You know, that's the big game changer. I've been on others, mate, and then you ask a question a week later, you don't even get a reply. I know it's working because I've progressed so much. You know, I'd have never learned them scales a couple of months ago, ever. But it's just the way you explain it, mate. It just resonates with me. You don't come on and show off. You grab your guitar and say, do it like this, and then you show me, and I'm like, I get that now. Yeah, I'm with you now. That's the big difference, James. You're normal. You just help me relax, you know, and you just, to make me feel relaxed, that builds me confidence. You know, and guitar's the same. If you're tense, you can't play fluid. You can't. It's impossible. You just can't. You've got to be relaxed, and that's a big thing you've taught me. I've relaxed. You know, I go back to the elbow. That was such a game changer. That just literally and then from that, I'm like, oh my god, the guitar's going with me while I'm playing. That's never happened before.
So you were sort of rigid a bit.
Yeah. Oh man, I used to finish and be like, my neck used to be stiff.
Right.
And they'd be like, oh, why can I not relax? Because I'm concentrating so much because of the progress you've got me through. And, you know, even stripping me right back to module 1, that anyone that does it needs to go back to the beginning again and learn the correct way to do this. I just wish I'd have bloody met you 6 months ago, mate. Honestly.
That's even, when you say back at the beginning, you're even talking about posture and sitting and all that kind of thing, yeah.
You know, even just how you hold your guitar and, you know, just simple now. And like, it's not really, because that helps you relax, that helps you to play, and actually helps you to enjoy play that's what eventually what you want to do. You just want to enjoy playing the guitar, get your friends and family around, sit around the campfire and just bloody play some nice tunes and everyone singing along. That was always my initial dream, that just get mum and dad round and sit around the campfire and, come on, Matt, get the guitar out, and be able, in my head just go, right, what do you want? And be able to play it. Rather than, you know, get a book and go, hang on a minute, you want to stand by me? I've got it here somewhere.
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
that's
I
crap,
know
isn't
what you mean. Yeah.
it? I'm
It's,
like,
it doesn't look good. Sure, it doesn't.
it
And you
looks
do that
shit,
kind
doesn't
of thing.
it? You know,
I only know a verse. Hang on, have you got another?
yeah,
Oh
I'll just get my phone up. Hang on a minute.
no. I know what you mean. I mean, that's how I feel some nights I'd be playing, and not so much these days, but you know, parties and things, and then somebody just yells out something that I know the song, but I don't know the chords, and I'm like, oh Jesus, this is going to look good here because I can't remember. I said, give me your phone, and then it's like, oh, fuck. By the time you search it up, they're all to something
Yeah,
else. But
everyone's fed up and they're going having
they're
another
fed
drink,
up.
aren't they?
Well, I say, well, who's going to sing it? Nobody's singing. I say, well, I don't know the words, but I've got the chords. Oh, fuck. Disaster
Yeah, it
sometimes,
just
but
doesn't work, does it? And that's what I want. It's in my brain, and I can just have like a dozen songs like top of my head, you know, and just be able, and then you know, a couple of like little show off
yeah,
things, you know, just a couple of them throw in as well, you know. But hey, yeah, it's just not to brag and show off, but just to actually that I can actually play the guitar properly as it should be played.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not just making this noise and trying to put your fingers there, and there's nothing worse. Yeah,
I know. And when you get the other wee techniques and stuff in, it should really lift those songs and things, you know, once you get down the line a wee bit with it. So you'll be able to add your own wee recs and all that in and just
yeah,
be confident doing that. Because I had a lesson here yesterday with a guy, and he's in a ukulele club. There's about 8 of them, but he started guitar. So he sort of had the rhythm, I suppose. But we were doing, what do you call it? Riptide, that song Riptide.
yeah.
And I was kind of, God, this rhythm's pretty tricky here because it's down, down, up, down, up, and then there's a part in it where there's wrecks in it. But he got it and he couldn't believe it when he got the wreck. He said, "Oh my God, that's how that changes everything." I says, "Yeah." I says, "Nice." So he says, "I'm going to enjoy that this week, going home and practicing that." And I says, "Well, once you start bringing something like that in to songs and things, it'll just the whole feeling of playing changes. It
Yeah,
just becomes like you're doing the percussion sort of end of it."
yeah.
But
You just want it to be natural, don't you? You know,
yeah,
just literally. Yeah, that's what I'm striving. I'm getting there. I'm honestly, I've just gone so far forward in what? How long have we been together? 5 weeks,
with 5 would be, yeah, by 5 weeks.
5 6 weeks.
March, wasn't it? End of
Like
March or something? Yeah.
it's like the stuff I've learned that I know for a fact prior to that I'd have never got this. You know, reading tabs now. I'm like, for the first time ever, I can actually read tabs. I've
Right.
seen that before we started. I looked at these numbers online. So I'm like, what the hell is no? Forget that. It was just like, you know, it's like theory, isn't it? You know, I know eventually down the line I'm going to have to learn a bit of that as well.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I know I'm not looking forward to that bit at the moment, but when I get there, I'll be like, why was I scared of that? What's the big deal? I
Yeah.
know because where I am now and what I've learned in such a short time. But yeah, it's been brilliant, mate. It's really good.
That's good. I'm really glad, Mark. I'm really glad. It's nice to hear that now, 5 weeks later, hear the difference, you know, where that you're feeling that it's really helped you. That's really good because that's the whole point. I mean, that makes I feel really chuffed because that's the whole point of it. It's nice to hear you produce this thing and you spend all this time building it and working on it, and then you're kind of thinking, but how is this in practice when somebody's using this? Is it helping them? You know, you're kind of
Yeah,
thinking, I
massively.
know what I want to get across, but
Yeah,
it's not until somebody actually uses it and goes, yes, this works. You know, so that's brilliant. I really
mate,
appreciate
you
it.
can see how much thought and effort you've put into it because each one just links into the next one, but you don't see it at the time. You
Right?
don't quite understand it. I'm like, why am I learning this? And then 8 lessons later, that bit comes back into play again. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's why you taught me that. Because
yeah,
now that song is that same finger placement, but 8 weeks ago. But because I memorized that, it's just so easy now. And
yeah.
everything just, it's like little stepping stones, goes to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, but not too overwhelming, not too daunting.
So you think the layout is good the way it is? The
Perfect,
way
mate.
it's
I do personally. I think you couldn't do it any better. But I totally understand it, and now because I'm
right,
sort of at the end of module 3, I understand how module 1 and 2 are meant to work.
right.
Which at the time doing it, I didn't. I went, I
Yeah,
feel as though I'm going a bit backwards here. I'm not really. I know this shit. Why is he teaching me this? But I wasn't doing it right. You just ironed out them little bits. I'm like, right, finger placement. Yeah, if I do it, you don't have to play an E minor like that. You can use them two fingers.
Yeah.
You don't have to do them fingers. It's dependent on the song. It just makes your next chord change easier. And it's just, yeah, I've had a couple of like wow moments in the last few weeks. Like really, like hairs on back of my neck. I'm like, was that me played that? And it's just, yeah. And honest, mate, it's been such a brilliant first 6 weeks. It's been, yeah.
Oh, great. I hope
I
you
just can't
continue.
wait for the rest.
Just really, I hope you.
But I don't want to run before, I don't want to do that. I don't want to jump and like trying to get ahead of myself.
It's tempting to do that, isn't it? It's tempting to go.
Oh, it's so easy, mate. Yeah.
I know. But you're doing it the right way, and you're pacing yourself, and that's it. You're working your way through. That's why, like when we said there about the end of, you're towards the end of module 3, may as well get on through. When you open up those sus chords, there's a piece there. What's all the sus that I put in? That was a new one, and that was to just open the chords up like A and D, and just have that option where you're not just playing the bland A and D chord. That's your lifting fingers, removing fingers, sticking that in. I had a guy used to come to lessons, and every time I played a song, he would lift the second finger on the D and put it down, even though it wasn't in the tune.
Yeah.
And he just got in this habit of doing it, and it did kind of change what he was playing. Changed it around. But hopefully now you'll continue to enjoy it even more as you get more into it, and it starts to fill out a bit more.
I know it's going to get a bit more difficult, and a bit more. I know that, but I'm just, I can't wait, mate. Honestly, I'm at work and I'm literally, my fingers going. I've become a bit of an obsession, James. It really has. Honestly, it's just I can't stop thinking about the bloody. I can't wait to get home. I'm like, you're not going with your dad's, yeah. So you're trying to get rid of me? No, I just want to practice the guitar. So go bugger off and go and visit your dad for 2 hours.
Straight on to it after work. Well, that's good.
She's not even started the car engine, mate, and guitar's out on my lap.
Oh, geez, that's good. But that's brilliant. That's so cool to hear, because it means I'm really glad to see you're really enjoying it, because that's what I wanted. Yeah. Well, I mean, as you know, if you're stuck at all, give me a shout, and I'll chop this up a bit and make it into a bit of a testimonial and get it out there if you don't mind.
I'll definitely, mate. Anyone is sort of thinking of it, I'm like, just do it. You will not regret it. If you want to learn how to play this amazing instrument, which it is, mate.
Oh, it is.
When you play it properly, it's wow. It's just, and I've got so much more to learn.
Yeah. Are you kind of starting to see the possibilities on the front?
Oh, mate, yeah. I didn't really. What you've taught me now, I didn't even think I could be like play that. Right. And I'm amazed where I'm at. It's just, my brother-in-law, like the other night, he was like, Matt, honestly, mate, I can't believe the difference in your playing. We do a regular video calls, and he's like, come on. And he'll get the bit. He's learning keen. A keen. I don't like it. It's a bit slow for me. A keen one. It's just like. But it sounds good. So he got the bass out, did down, and I was like, "What are you playing? A, G, D, A minor, right? Got it." And I played along with him. I have never done that. Never heard that song in my life. But it's only 4 chords. But I was like, you've got it within 30 seconds.
That keen one, was that the kind of famous keen one? What do you call it?
I can't think what it's bloody called. I don't like the song.
Only We Know, was that one? I can't
remember it.
Somewhere Only We Know, maybe that's it. Is it?
Might be that, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's quite slowish, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay, but it's just it's quite easy. The chord changes, they're not really.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I'm just like, I've never thought this is easier. For the first time this week, I'm like, that was actually quite easy. I didn't even have to think about it. I know what the G is. I'm playing G with 2 fingers on a proper G chord, whereas I only had one. I'm playing the bottom 2 strings, and the sound just sounds that bit better. A bit. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear the difference before, whereas now I can. It's bizarre, mate. It really is. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
That's great. I'm so glad to hear. Well, obviously we're going to be chatting anyway, Mark, in the group and in Messenger and stuff. So I keep checking in on the program anywhere where you are. Kind of would do that now and again anyway. And then, as you know, give me a shout if you get stuck at all.
I think my next shout is going to be once I get to the end of module 3 and start module 4. Be like, James, can you do a call, mate? I don't know what I'm doing.
What's going on here?
Yeah, it's getting a bit tricky now. But I'm looking. In a month ago, I've been like, shit, I'm getting a bit freaked out with this. Now I'm like, I'm looking forward to it, to that the next bit. I'm like, oh, what's next? What's next? And it's and you just throw a couple of like riffs in and a couple of tunes that and you just give it that fun, mate. It's got to be fun. You've got to enjoy this.
Yeah.
You've got to do. You can't get bogged down and think of it as a chore that you've got to learn the guitar.
See, that's when you mentioned the fun bit of it. That's what was worrying me a bit when I was building. I was thinking, are these pieces interesting enough, to be playing? Especially on the ones early on where you've got like changing and you're maybe strumming a chord for 2 beats before the next one. I thought, but it has to be step by step. If I chucked in, down, 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 up early on, you're going, oh God, I can't do this. I wanted to make sure that the chord changes are there, and it's not an easy thing to plan out, because I sat down and went and like rewrote it. I don't know, many times, and I thought, right, I'm going to have to run with an order here and do this and put this out there, because I can't keep rewriting it forever, So, but I'm glad now that you're feeling that one thing. It's nice to hear that one thing just steps on the other, and it actually does work in practice. Yeah, good.
But it's like at the beginning, it was like your half notes, your quarter notes.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I hadn't a clue that, but that's made so much sense later on, because you teach you that quite early about that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you needed to teach me that, because I would not have understood where I'm at now without knowing about these, and then you've got a bit of the pause, a silent note. I'm like, what the hell's a silent? Can you like play a note and not play it?
Yeah.
But you need that early on to give you an understanding, because like I said, it just builds and builds, James, and then, and you can always, if you're not sure of that lesson, you can always just go back to it and refresh yourself.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. It's left open. It's not, once you close module 1 disappears. It's always open for you to pop back to it.
And I know some programs, and that's another important thing, because people would I've seen programs and things I've done, not on guitar but other courses, and it is sort of like that, where you finish module 1 and then you're left with the remainder of it.
Yeah.
And then people had said to me, well, if you're planning this, you shouldn't be handing it all out there in one go. And I was kind of thinking, well, because there's a lot of programs are like drip fed, or every week. I thought, but that's okay if everybody, not everybody can get working on it to the same extent every week. And if they're getting a lesson that's they're got access to 1 week, and another week comes and they haven't finished that previous lesson and they're getting access to another one, then it's like, oh, that's where the overwhelm comes in. And I thought, well, if it's there and you can go backwards and forwards, as long as, obviously, I did notice some people jumping way ahead and skipping like 4 or 5 lessons, and I thought, no, you can't be doing that. You have to, probably they got tempted by something further on and went to it. And then I looked at it and I got on, I says, no, look, run through this in the order it is. It's in an order for a reason.
There's a reason for that. There's a reason you've sat down and created this program.
Yeah.
God, it must have took you years to do this, James.
It took a long time to put it together, I'll be honest, Mark. It took a lot of planning, and even deciding the order that the chords should be in.
Yeah.
That comes from, well, the order I would teach them, but it actually made me study how I teach, and it's made me a better teacher, because I've had to sit and actually analyze it and go, well, what are you doing here? How are you running through this with everybody? And it's actually made me, because now I have it in my head and just go, right, here's the way this is going to work here. Now we're going to work on the music you want to do, but you need to be doing this. We're not leaving this out. We're not leaving this out, because a lot of teaching kids isn't easy, and getting them to concentrate, but like getting them to see, for example, why do I need to learn the C major scale? And you're trying to say, well, later on down the line, you'll have complete fretboard freedom if you do it this way. If they were thinking, but I want to play Ed Sheeran, and I'm thinking, yes, okay, we can do a bit of that, but you need this. So it's like, give them what they want plus what they need. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Trying to get that fine mix, isn't it?
yeah, a little balance there.
Yeah, little
Uh,
balance. Yeah.
because it's
But
sort of,
honestly, mate, I think that what you've got planned out for anyone who wants to learn the guitar, it's pretty goddamn perfect, mate. It really is
that's really nice to hear.
bang on.
Chris.
Literally, and like I said, I've tried all these other ones, and you just 30-day free trial. Yeah, let's have a go at that. And I'm like, what the hell? Are you just trying
What ones did you actually? You mentioned Justin
to
Guitar on it, did
Justin Guitar? He was pretty all right at the beginning, but
right?
you can't sort of get in touch with him. He just puts it out there, and he just leaves it up to you.
Yeah.
So I sort of just pinched his songbook part of it, so you can play along to his songs, which is quite good.
Okay.
So I wanted to keep that, so I was like, I tried Henry Olsen.
I've heard of him. Somebody else mentioned
Yeah,
it.
he was pretty all right, and then the Guitar Mastery Method,
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
GMM.
Yeah,
That was shite, mate. That was just
was it?
absolutely. It was just.
Because it's everywhere. I mean, it pops up in my Facebook and.
Oh mate, I'm getting this guy from Sweden now, the Swedish method. I'm getting
Right.
I'm getting so much. I think because I think it's like anything. You chat with your missus. Oh, we're looking at a brand new double bed. The next day, you suddenly get double beds appear on your Google,
Aye, that's right. Yeah.
and it's because I'm searching guitar and lessons and everything, and I'm on with you. Now I'm inundated with guitar stuff. Honestly, mate, offers here. Facebook's notorious for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Every day, I probably get 3, 4 emails a day. Come
Jeez.
and join me. I can teach you this, and the
Yeah.
clock's running down. If you can sign up tonight, I'll give it you 89% off, and all
Yeah.
these crazy deals. And there's people out there. They're like, wow, that sounds good. Gullible, and literally that's what they're waiting on these, and they think there's this fast track system to learning the guitar, and there's basically no. It doesn't exist. There's no way can you learn a guitar in 6 weeks and be Eric Clapton. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it just doesn't happen. You're not.
I know.
Eric Clapton practiced for 10 hours a day for probably years and years and years to get where he is.
And that's just the thing too. And people will say, "Oh, he taught himself." Now they're not thinking about who he was playing with and knowing the
Yeah,
Beatles and knowing BB King and all that experience that he gained from them. People
yeah,
think, "Oh, he taught himself." He didn't really teach himself. If you think about it, he
yeah,
actually knew maybe when he was younger, but he still probably was involved with guitars and playing with other people, and things were passed on. So he was being taught, but not in a formal way.
yeah.
And people are kind of thinking, "Ah, these are all self-taught guitarists." And I'm thinking, they didn't sit on YouTube. I can tell you that because there was no YouTube yet.
It didn't exist then, did
It
it?
didn't exist. Yeah, it didn't exist for me either. But,
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of the problem now, James, because of YouTube and the internet.
yeah,
Everything's literally there at the press of a button. And there's just too much, and it can be overwhelming. So that's where it does. You don't know where to go then, because you're like, oh, I've got all this information, and he's telling me that. I've even like there's a woman who comes on. I can teach you this, and you're like, wow, where should I go? But then you come on, you went, calm down. Let's have a minute. Let's just have a chat.
yeah.
and we
Forget
and we
all
just
that
had
for a second.
yeah, just like rein it back in, Matt. And I was like, right, okay, I need to stop all this shit because my
But it
mind's
is
like
overwhelming. It
it's
is,
like
isn't it?
it's like brain overload.
Yeah, it is.
You take a snip from there and learn that, and then you're going somewhere else to learn that, and by the time you learn that, you forgot that one, and it's just you just go round, and you
I
need
mean,
structure. You need structure. You need a pathway.
yeah. As I said to you when we were chatting the first time, I mean, for the things I'm doing online and trying to sort emails and all this side, I mean, I'm in that same overwhelm too going on, and I would go on to YouTube, and I'm not getting any answers either to the
Yeah,
things that I'm sitting thinking, right, okay, I'm going to sit and work this out myself, which I've done so many times, but it really should be, right, who got a contact here? Nobody in the family's big into IT or anything, so you're really on your own. So I feel like a guitar student at the start with all that
yeah,
shit, and you're
yeah,
like, where's the answers? I need the answers too, but it's
yeah.
frustrating. But that's good. But I'm really glad it's helped now, and you're enjoying
Oh,
it.
massively, mate. I just can't. I didn't think I'd progress as much as what I have in such a short time. Even a bit like, wow, is that? It's
Brilliant.
like clicking. It's coming together bit by bit, but in a quicker way.
Yeah.
It really, it's just the way you've got it laid out, mate. I can't say it any other different. It's just you've done it perfectly. For me, it works perfectly for me.
Just
I understand it now, where you're going and
yeah,
what you're doing, what you're trying to teach me.
yeah.
You
So
know, I'm not trying to. That's why I was like, I don't want to go to. I was a bit. I don't want to go to the next lesson and undo what you've taught me so far, and skip anything. Is it the right time for me to move on?
yeah, yeah. And if you're in any doubt, I mean, give me a shout and let me see. I mean, the best way is to, as I said before, so I can, rather than me giving you a written explanation, just send a video over or pop a video in
Yeah,
that program support group. And I think the guys that are in there too, and I understand it, are a bit shy about putting where they are in there. But the whole point
yeah,
of that is, now they could be coming from, I know some of them are in those other groups that you mentioned, and they're probably maybe feeling, oh, am I going to be judged here? And it's not about that at all. In fact, the more shit you play in that support group, the better, because that's how I
yeah,
can fix it. You know, but people are thinking, you know, should I be doing this? If I do it, I should be playing my best. I'm thinking that's the wrong way to think of it. You're learning, so I need to see you at the worst so we can fix it.
yeah. Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
But
one of the guys, Joe, he was kind of, was it Joe? No, it was all guy Alan, and he was saying, oh well, I did this recording, but the recording I did 10 minutes ago was far better. And I says, right, so this is a shit one basically. And he said, yeah. He says, well, send that over. I don't want to see the good one. Send this one, because then
yeah,
I can work on that and make sure that it stays good. You know, that kind of way. That's the way I'm thinking about it. But
yeah, no,
yeah,
definitely.
but
But James, you're a star, mate. Honestly, I'm just made up with loving it, mate. Honestly,
brilliant. Well, I can't
it
wait to
really
see
is.
how you get on with the next things now, and you get stuff.
Yeah, that's a bit.
On that. Don't
I was
worry,
just a bit.
it's still step by step. I know when you're getting into you're getting a bit deeper into it now, and it's like, right, module 4. But this is where the keys to that's why I called it the keys to thousands of songs. When you get this down, it should open up everything from here on in and what you've done. So when
Yeah,
you go to your songs again, you'll see how they're constructed, and you know all the common chord progressions. When you get to the D, A, B minor, G, you've got songs in the key of D. Whether you capo them or not, you can still capo them up with stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, so maybe the B minor, when you do get on the module 4, the B minor may cause some issues. That's normal.
yeah,
But we'll just see how it goes as you're going through it. And then we'll chat again and just see how it's all going when you do get into it.
yeah. Definitely, mate.
Keep
But
me filled
no,
in.
pleasure as always, James.
Yes, it's great to catch up, Mark. I'm really glad to
Yeah,
hear you enjoying it. That's
no,
brilliant.
mate. Honestly, I'm absolutely buzzing. It's just, yeah, it's just, yeah. It's like I don't like light something inside it. It's just when you play it properly, and then it's just, yeah. I don't know how to explain it to people. It's just an amazing feeling that you can make this piece of wood with 6 strings on sound the way it does.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just wish we'd done it 6 months ago, mate, because I know I'd have been a lot further on than where I am now. Instead of bloody, I've been
Yeah.
messing about for 6 months in the wilderness,
I know. I was
basically.
chatting, the guy I was saying earlier, I was chatting to on Monday. He's been messed about for 3 years, and well, I'm hoping he will enroll so I can help him, but it's obvious that
Yeah,
he's stuck as well, you know, and
I
I'm
know.
kind of
And I
thinking,
think as you do that, the longer you do that, the
yeah,
harder it is to break them bad habits.
mm, yeah,
You've got to realise early on it and just take that step. Just do it. Just that's all I can say to people. Just do it. You will not regret anything at all. If you want to play this guitar, sign up.